Like, I don't think there's anybody in here who doesn't have access to those three things. Y'all don't live in China. You probably have at least one friend. And you definitely got Twitter if you want my Instagram right now. So I'm saying, like, I didn't go to fucking... I did go to music school in my life. And I did take classes for instruments. And I did do a bunch of shit. But, like, I never went to school for recording vocals. I never went to fucking class for production. I never took a course and had to do my job that I'm doing right now. I learned that shit from just doing it and fucking up, getting yelled at by rappers, having Pablo Juan be mad as fuck at me, like being in uncomfortable rooms where people just think I'm the fucking studio assistant, all types of dumb shit. But literally, the days I felt really uncomfortable doing my job were the best days for me. The days where you kill it and you go into a studio and someone takes your beat and they make a great song in your beat and then it blows up in the internet, those days don't do anything for you. Yeah, followers, maybe an opportunity comes out of it, but like the best days are whenever you get fucked over or some shitty shit happens or nobody fucks with your beats or whatever it is. You needed to, like, you were in a room and this rapper really wanted to work with you, but there's no engineer and you don't know how to engineer. Like, those days are the days that push you to learn something. Those days are whenever you go back to the drawing board and say, fuck, I can't get embarrassed again. Like, feeling embarrassed, feeling like you fucked up, feeling uncomfortable will push you 10 times harder than confidence will, in my experience. Of course you need a little boost here and there. Your friends telling you they like your music should be enough. But like, your friends fucking with it, people on the internet fucking with it, giving you a compliment here and there, more people following you or whatever it is. It feels nice to get an affirmation, you know what I mean? It feels good for someone to tell you your shit's hot or to tell you you're moving the right way, but that it's not going to make you better. I tweeted that shit the other day. Like, kids always DM producers like, hey, let me send you beats. Not kids, like, some kids want advice on how to produce better. I understand that. But it's kids who are like, they've already finished making their beats and they know what they're trying to do and they know what rappers they want to work with, and they're just hitting up bigger producers like, yo, you want to hear my beats, bro? Like, maybe you could pass it to whoever. Like, how fucking lame are you? Like, me telling you that you got really good beats or telling some rapper like, yo, you should go fuck with this kid. And say I do it. Say you send me a beat, right? And I hear it and I'm like, wow, this beat is the perfect beat for Vince Staples, right? Oh my God, this is exactly what Vince needs. This fucking random kid on Twitter just sent me this beat and it's perfect for Vince. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to Vince. I'm gonna say, hey Vince, this beat is perfect for you. I didn't make it. Some kid sent it to me on Twitter, but I don't know, bro. I think it's perfect. Then he hears it and he goes, wow, it's perfect. And he gets on the beat, right? They're gonna hit you up. They're going to send you some money. They're going to contact you about the fucking publishing and the royalties and all the contracts. You're going to fill it out. Then you're going to go on your Twitter, the same amount of followers you had before, and you're going to tweet, hey, I just did this new song for Vince. And then you're going to get a couple followers, and then you're going to have some people like your shit. Maybe you smashed somebody from your high school who wasn't down for you before because now you got some clout. That's about it. It's not really going to do shit for you. It's not going to like put your name out there in a crazy way. It's not going to have all these people, rappers hitting you up, wanting to hang around. It's not going to fucking do shit for your bank account, really, because you're going to go buy 2 Gucci sweatshirts and that's going to be it. So really, what the fuck is the point of taking the easy route and hitting up some other producer to try to fucking have him get it for you? Like, you got to be uncomfortable. You got to go deal with some bullshit and go intern somewhere or go get rejected a couple times or go fucking collab with people who you're probably better than, but you know being around them might introduce you to some people who might introduce you to some people. That's the kind of shit you got to do. That's when the fucking relationships mean something. That's when you walk into a studio and you feel like, wow, I'm ready to do my job. I can't imagine what it feels like. I mean, I do know from when I'm younger, but not anymore. I can't imagine like walking into a studio and being nervous. Like, oh, I wonder if my beats are going to be good enough. Like, oh, I wonder if this rapper's going to fuck with me. He seems scary. Well, what if they have guns there? What if they don't pay me? Like, I hope they tag me. Like, if you're thinking about any of this shit, you got to just go home. You got to go home. Like, the only thing you're there to do when you're in a room with an artist, if you want to do what I'm doing or something like it, you're there to help them make their best music. You are there to help. You are not there to get tagged. You are not there to post content. You are not there to have people pat you on the back and tell you your shit is fire. That shit all might happen, but it's not even a bonus. It's an extra thought. The only thing I do in my job is help artists make songs because I'm a fan of them. That's why I don't mind if I don't get tagged or I don't make money or I don't get all these benefits. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is saying, hey, I made music with this person. I can go back to my friends and the people who love me and people who I fuck with and say, hey, this is some music I worked on. That's what I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for clout. I'm not doing it for the followers. And that's why, like, I get so frustrated when kids are just starting out and their mindset's already fucked up. The mindset is like, let me get good enough at beats to get a beat to a rapper. And then whenever a rapper who I really like takes my beats, that must mean I'm as good as all the other producers he works with. And now I got an attitude problem because I know I can do this shit. Blah, 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 already rapped on my beat. I do this. I'm a producer, bro. I know what's hot. When I see kids with that mentality who've been producing for 3, 4, 5 years, like, you're already on such a bad path. I'm a random ass white kid who looks how I look and talks how I talk. So I already was in a lot of rooms where people were like, what the fuck are you doing here? Go get me a coffee. Whatever the fuck it was. I already had people just like not fucking with me because I just looked foreign for this type of shit I was trying to do since I was a young kid. So I already just kind of ruled out like, man, I gotta wear a fit and I gotta act this way and I gotta be their best friend and I took all that shit out of the picture when I was younger because I'm like, I used to show up in fucking like all Supreme walking like, yeah, I got beats, yeah, bro, like I think you should get on some shit like this. Da-da-da. That's how I used to come into sessions when I was a little kid. I dipped. I stopped making rap for years. And then when I came back to it, I was like, man, this shit is not about how I look. This shit is not about being friends. This shit is not about me showing them what they're doing. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know what these rappers know about where they're from, their sound, how it got created, what they're trying to do in the future, who their influences are. I don't know any of this shit. So for me to walk into a room, try to dress a certain way, tell a rapper what he should do or what he should get on, if I'm doing anything like that, you already are losing. You just made yourself a beat maker, not a producer. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's uncomfortable. This all is one conversation. This all goes back to what I was saying when I turned live on. It's uncomfortable to walk in a room with someone you don't fucking know, who's probably from some other part of the country that you don't know anything about, and try to pretend like you understand where they're coming from and what their music is and how, like, you don't understand. So all you can really do is be cool and ask questions. Hey, what are you working on? You want to play me some shit? What do you need that you don't have? Like, what's your favorite song right now? If you're not asking questions and you just saying, I think you would sound good on this. Hey, bro, da-da-da-da-da, you should try this beat. Hey, I made this for you. Like, what the fuck? Don't make assumptions. Same if if you want to manage people, or you want to be an agent, or you want to fucking work with creatives. Don't ever tell a creative person what you think they should do, or like what you had planned for them. Let them tell you what they want to do, and then you react to that. Yeah, it's much harder. It's very easy to listen to a rapper, listen to his Spotify, make him 5 beats that sound like he would get on them, and bring him those beats and say, hey bro, you should try these beats. That shit is so easy to do. Any kid in here right now can go download Splice, go on Reddit, get a fucking cracked version of some software, and that kid can make hot beats. Anybody in here can make hot beats. If you've never made a beat in your life, I could teach you in a month how to make shit that could get on an album. So it's not about that anymore. It's not about fucking hot beats. It's not about being able to make shit that sounds as good as the radio, or being able to make shit that sounds like someone else's shit. That's not valuable. You play video games. No one's paying you to fucking play Fortnite at your crib, just like a million other kids are playing Fortnite at their crib. It's like, you got to be the best of great songs and be a part of an artist's process. You need to fit into the process. You can't fit with another artist or with another person by telling them what they should do, or giving them your vision. Your vision is not the point. You're a fan of the artist, right? Like, I don't work with rappers because they're hot. I work with them because I like their music. They were doing this shit without me. Rico was good without me. Like, Key was good without me. Freddie Gibbs was very good without me. Like, Vince was good without me. Jid, Ski Mask, A Boogie, like whoever you want to talk about me working with, they all were fine. They all were going to make plenty more hot shit, and they all had plenty of hot beats coming in, and they're all going to make great albums. Me being a part of it or not doesn't like make or break anything. The difference is I'm willing to be a part of their process and do anything they need me to do. And like, I'm willing to go there and say, you want this type of beat, or this type of beat, or this type of song, or you want this producer involved, I can help get him, or do you want this engineer, or do you want this person to mix it, or do you want these kind of sound effects, or do you want this songwriter to come help out, or do you want me to fucking help you finish this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's what I do. I just try to fucking help like close the gaps and help fucking people figure out what the whole story is. What can we do? And constantly putting myself in an uncomfortable position. I'm always in uncomfortable conversations. I'm always having to ask tough ass people some shit you probably don't want to ask them, but like, that's how I get shit that's worth doing. Getting comfortable is the thing I get the most scared about. I get so scared about just being comfy. I like that. Who's 3 a.m. Thrill? He says, seek discomfort. I feel that. You can't just fucking start thinking you're fire, bro. As soon as I don't know what it is. It must be money, clout, whatever it is for most people. As soon as you start thinking you're fire, or thinking you know what you're doing, or thinking that you know better than a young kid who's doing it, or you know better than somebody who has made less money than you, or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Once you think you're better than somebody else because you've had some success, you just threw it out the window. So take it the same way if you don't have shit going on. Like, if you're not doing shit and you live at home, or you're too young to do anything yet, or you're old and you don't think you've done enough shit, or you feel like you're doing your thing but you're not making enough money, this applies to you just as much as it applies to me or my most successful friend. You got to seek discomfort. I like that. I didn't even just make, somebody said that in the chat, but I like that. The more you fucking put yourself in positions that you got to fight out of, or you got to teach yourself something, or you got to fucking acquire a new skill to make shit move forward for you, that's how you grow. That's how you become a fucking adult. That's how you become the person you're trying to be. That's how you get better at your job, whatever the fuck your job is. You're never going to get better at your job by getting patted on the back and doing what you know you do well. It's not going to do. I'm not fucking crying, you bitch. I'm eating Woe Kenny M&Ms. I'm smoking big gas. I'm hand sanitizing. Oh, shit. You're crying. I'm not crying. I'm trying to motivate the youth. We're in church. This is church. I'm not religious, but we're in church right now. This is gospel. What about the yerba? Yeah, oh yeah. Let me get a sip of yerba. I'm gonna smoke some kush. I'm not crying, you're crying. I wanted to be like, what are we gonna do? And then y'all all chant back at me, but I'm trying to motivate the youth, bruh. I've been fucked. I've been fucked over, bro. I went to college. I worked with a bunch of cool ass people when I was younger. I sold a bunch of weed. I did all that, bro. And I was fucked. Like, I remember always being like, yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. There's a couple times where I did not figure it out. There was a couple years where I was like, damn, I do not have enough money and I do not have anything saved. There is Orange Exuberance, Dom. It's in the corner, bruh. It's over there. But I'm saying, like, hey, I know what it's like to feel shitty and to feel broke and to feel like you're not good enough and you not da-da-da-da. Like, I've been there for all of it. That's why I like having these talks with people. Because, like, I've found my way out of it. And the only people who helped me do that shit was my best friends. And so, like, if I can help one other kid just, like, reset his anger or his depression or his, like, creativity that's misdirected, if I can just help anybody do that shit, like, that's really more my goal at this point than anything else. My main goal is my music. My second goal is be a good guy. Maybe I should switch, though. Be a good guy, music. My third goal is to, like, just help people find what I'm starting to find, bruh. Like, it's really just about constantly seeking more knowledge, constantly trying to put yourself in harder situations so you can get better at shit, and, like, just keep it a fucking 1,000 with everybody around you. Like, I'm so sick of people having to fucking explain why they're tight or explain their music before they play it, or explain what their plan is and why they haven't got to their plan yet. Like, someone just said, what if you have no one? Honestly, the first thought that comes to my head is, if you have nobody, you got nothing but time. You have nothing but time. What can you put that time into beyond paying your bills that can change your situation? Whether it's a social thing, whether it's getting out there in harder situations, whether it's finding similar-minded groups of people on the internet and that leading you to meeting more people, whether it's following your goal more and hopefully on the way to your goal, whether it's taking classes or going to similar-minded places or whatever it is. Maybe you meet people. Maybe you make friends. Maybe those friends help you get further. At this point, I've had so many people in my life get so fucked up with health, with money, with just mental shit, physical shit, blah, blah, blah. To me, I'm not going to let you fucking let anything be a reason why you definitely can't. There's no reason why you fully can't. You always can, bro. There's always a way to make the shit happen. It's just about fucking pushing yourself harder than you think you can. I really never thought Like, bro, I remember being in school and being like, I'm not gonna be one of these kids who studies like that. Like, I'm just not. I can't be taking these tests and getting A+ on them and sitting there and fucking writing papers for 3 weeks before the shit is due. Like, I remember being in school and just being like, nah, like, this shit is not me, bruh. And then I remember seeing my friends get normal jobs and seeing my friends like work in like finance and do shit like that, and I was just like, no. Like, if I gotta run numbers to get money, or I gotta go work at a fucking corny ass office with corny ass people, that's the only way I can get money. I was like, nah, it's just not happening. I just can't do that shit. I graduated because my mom. The only thing I ever really promised my mom is that I would fucking finish school. So I did that. But like, I just knew, for me, my path was not going to be normal. And when your path isn't normal, there's not as many people who are going to say, oh, do this. And then after college, you go to this. And then get a job here. And then you fucking, when you get a job there, you get a promotion and you work. This shit don't work like that. When you want to do when you tell your mom, I want to produce for rappers, like, okay, buddy, good luck. Like, let me know when you're going to come back and take this real estate job, because that shit's not going to work out for you. You're a white kid from Connecticut. I don't think producing for rappers is probably the most logical thing for you to go do. It's going to feel like that. There's going to be people who just like, they don't see it for you, and they're not there to help you. So who's there to help you? I grew up in a town where like no one made music. None of my friends made music. None of my friends thought that shit was cool. I'll talk about any kind of music. Like, my friends didn't make beats. My friends didn't play guitars or drums or instruments. Like, my friends played sports. My friends played sports, and their dads fucking crunched numbers and made money. And like, that's where I came from. My dad didn't do that. My parents were a little different. But like, I grew up in a place that basically was like, yeah, music's not for you. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you grow up, or whatever your obstacle is, or whatever lack of money or lack of friends or lack of opportunity you have, it's always a way to do it. You got the fucking internet. If I'm talking to you right now, you got the internet. It's 346 people in here right now. I guarantee you 160 of those kids can teach you something about production, about being a good person, about how to fucking get better at what you're trying to do. Like, that's what I love about the people who fuck with me, is like, I've developed, I don't like saying a fan base, but I've just developed a lot of people on all my pages who like want to go get it. Because they don't, like, if you follow me because a song I did, or you follow me because some funny shit or whatever, like, that's some of it. But it's really a lot of the kids who follow me want to make music, or they just love music and want to be around music, girl or boy. And so I just love that, like, the conversation on my page is based in the music and working with artists and trying to do something different and trying to fucking, like, just focus on tight shit and not focus on hits or not focus on money, or like, that's what my page is. When my live used to be, bro, my live used to be like 8 kids, bro. Like, I would go on live and play beats for hours. All the beats have come out now. They're all songs with people. I would go on here, make beats, play beats for hours for 8 kids, 11 kids. And I was still talking about the same shit. I probably was talking less because I was embarrassed. Because I knew, like, some girl I knew or one of my friends would come into my live and they'd be like, why is he on live with 9 people? It was fucking... Going on live with 9 people can look a little sus. It's like, wow, you really want some attention, huh? You just sitting there with 8 people. But I was like, nah, these 8 kids, they all want to make beats too. And I'm trying to, like, teach them about how I do this shit in Ableton. And then it'd be like 20 kids in there. And there'd be like one kid in there who'd be like, yo, I like that song you did for fucking Pablo Juan or whatever. And I'd be like, see, this kid fucks with me. Like, These kids, they trying to make beats. This kid's my homie. This kid fucks with me. That's all 20 people in my live. Once it started to be like 40 or 50 kids would come in my live, I was like, oh, nah. All these kids make beats. I got to talk my shit. Like, oh, this kid's talking about Pure Born. Oh, this kid said my beats suck. Oh, this kid's asking about my 808. I was like, okay. But now, like, I feel like I've really just developed, like, a group of people who want to talk about music or want to talk about making music or want to talk about, like, fixing their problems or fixing the shit that they had wrong. Like, everybody knows my story. You got those awkward ass pictures of me that Rico posted, and that was when I was in high school and I started making music. Then I went to college. Then I became a fucking DJ. I made fucking EDM music. Yes, unfortunately. And then I came back to this shit. You can't pull my card because I pull my own card. I will show you all the mistakes I made. I will show you all the shit I did that was for money instead of because I believed in it. I will talk about it. I love that that's my page. Like, imagine if I was trying to hide shit from y'all. Like, every time someone made fun of me or every time there was a joke or about something I did in my past or every time. Imagine if I tried to hide all the corny shit I did. None of y'all will fuck with me. The reason everybody on this page rocks with my story is because I'm brutally honest about my shit and I'm making good music. That's the one thing I will have ego about. My music is fucking good. I make good ass music. So I'm saying, like, I'm just happy to promote you can fucking be yourself and you can do whatever you want with music. You don't gotta wear chains. You don't gotta have a fucking Tesla. You don't gotta make the most money ever. You can pay for your family's bills and buy yourself a hoodie once in a while and smoke a bunch of weed and eat good food and have fun with your friends and still produce for hard ass rappers or still produce for singer-songwriters or still do. There's no mold you got to fit into. And there's also no, like, path you got to take. There's no one way to get money or to fucking start working with artists or to get your name in the game. Like, you could really just be yourself and you could have fucked up in the past and you could have done some corny shit or you could have done this or done that. It's like, I like that that's my story. I like that that's my page. I'm proud of that. A lot of people gotta really not be themselves to get placements or to get money or to get followers. Like, this shit is not fun. It's not fun to be in the studio with an artist you've been dying to work with your whole life if you gotta be a fake version of yourself when you're around them. Imagine, bro, I know some producers who, if they weren't bringing the lean and bringing the weed and dressed in all designer and fucking sucking people's dicks on the internet and on text, they wouldn't be in the studio. And they know it. They know who they are. I'm not even, like, taking shots. I'm not even thinking of a specific kid, but it's like, think about if, like, your value is, oh, well, I'm bringing the weed and I'm bringing this and I'm gonna make you beats that sound like this person so you know they're gonna be easy and da-da-da-da. Like, I never want to be that. I want to just be me, bro. I want to be able to talk my shit and be 100% honest and still be respected and still be considered legitimate and still be able to make songs with all the people I want to make songs with, whether they look different than me, act different than me, from different parts of the country, whatever the fuck it is. Like, I really just don't see a reason why you gotta fucking be a fake cool version of yourself to pop off. I'm happy being uncomfortable. I'm happy being in a studio full of people I don't fucking know and making it work. I'm happy when kids want to talk shit on the internet who's sitting in a dirty ass basement. I'm happy to roast you in your fucking horrible life. I don't care about the bullshit. All I care about is the music. And if kids who follow me feel the same way because they heard me act that way, I feel like I'm doing a good job. Like, if you see a kid who's like a fucking ugly white kid and he makes really good beats and he's funny, it's like you're gonna be like, oh damn, like you want some Kenny shit. You ugly as hell and you funny, but your beats are really good. I love that. I love that. That's like that's how people perceive my brand, is like not taking yourself too seriously, but taking it serious when it comes to the music. So many people fucking take themselves so serious, dog. Like, for what? For what? I haven't ranted in a minute. I'm getting a big old rant out today. Once I smoke this weed, it's going to be over, though. Damn, people keep calling... Bro, I just turned 28 this week, and people keep being on my page saying all this old shit. It's got me fucked up. People... What was the one... some kid yesterday, I put up that video of me dancing to the Tisa shit. I really just made that for Tisa. I'm not putting that on, like, the internet so I can make everybody else laugh at my dance moves. I knew Tisa would love it. And that kid makes me so happy. So seeing him be happy is really funny to me. But I made the Tisa video yesterday, and this kid's in my DM being like, hey, bro, you pushing 30, bro. I'm like... And then I was about to be like, I'm not pushing 30, but yo, I just turned 28. I think that... Does that mean pushing 30? That's fucked. I was 27 a week ago, and I didn't feel old. I feel so old now. Thank God I got some money last year. It might be a wrap for me. This kid said, you pushing 30. I was like, man, I'm 28, bro. So I had to shave my face. I feel like it got me a couple of years. It gave me a couple of years back. I look like Ellen DeGeneres. And Vince calling me the police this week. Like, I really took a lot of heat. Whatever. We did big views in the cave. Thank y'all for supporting the cave. I'm in the cave right now. I can't believe it. You know, we did 224,000 views in a day on the Vince episode. Jid's 28. Wow, Jid's old as fuck. I didn't know that. Fire. But yeah, can y'all believe that? 200, that's almost 250,000 views in one day on the cave. We started the cave like not even 2 months ago. Bro, I'm so fucking happy. Like, you got to understand that the cave is really what goes on here. Like, my beats on the cave are trash because I always been having to just rush them and make them real quick and shit. Like, you saw Vince behind, like, I only get so much time, and like, I usually have a real studio session after the cave, so I'm trying to get the cave done so we can get to the studio session. I know I'm about to get roasted for 10 minutes while I make the beat, but that really is what goes on in here. Like, yesterday I had a session with NLE Choppa yesterday, if y'all know Choppa. But we were in here and like, I played him some beats and shit that he was asking me what he wanted. I played him some beats. He ended up wanting to cook up. We cooked up real quick. He kept telling me kind of what he wanted. Went in, did a whole song. It took like much longer than a cave episode. But on a real day in my studio, like with no cameras on, when no one's here, when I'm just with the artist, it's pretty similar, bro. It's not that different. The beats are a little more complicated. The conversations are a little more serious. But it's just as many jokes and just as much like dumb shit. And just like, we just started filming it. That's why, like, I don't know, for months, y'all would see all the people who were in here, and I'd be posting pictures, and I would post all types of shit, but like, we never filmed nothing because I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I used to feel like if you put a camera in someone's face when you first meet them or da-da-da, it's just, I still feel like this. It's just going to ruin the vibe. It's going to make people not act completely themselves. With Freddie, with JPEG, with Smino, with Rico, with Vince, with Zach, like, those are really my friends. Those are real life my friends. If I had an actual problem in my life that had nothing to do with music, I could call any one of those people and talk through it with them for fucking 3 hours if I really needed them. You know what I mean? Like, those are my actual friends. So whenever we got the idea for the cave, we were like, yo, if we just filmed for 20 minutes out of any one of my sessions, like, it would be so funny. Because there was days where people would leave and we would be like, yo, if we had that on camera, like, oh my God. So the cave got started just because that's what was going on. I think that's why all these networks and all these people hitting us up are tripping, because like when you look at like a Genius video, or you look at like a video on Fact Mag or whatever, any of these websites that do like the beat making videos or any of that shit, it's like, you know, it was like some dude sitting in an office like, all right, so we'll get hot producers and then we'll fucking put them in the studio, we'll put a timer on. But when you do, I've done it, I've done Rhythm Roulette, I've done the Genius videos, never. When you do it, like, they're cool, but they put you in some studio that you're not used to. You getting interviewed basically by like these dudes who work at some network. Like, the whole thing just kind of feels professional. It doesn't feel chill. With the cave, it was just like, man, if it's just me and my friends, and we don't like, my homie Eris is the only person who ever films in my studio, so he's always here. But besides Eris, I was like, we'll just put up GoPros. We'll just have a bunch of little GoPros. I'm paraphrasing. I don't think even the GoPros were my specific idea. It was probably Eris's idea. But we just put up these little tiny cameras everywhere and just like make it seem like a normal day. Just talk shit, whatever. The only difference is it's a freestyle and it's not a real song. And no, I'm not putting out the Zach Fox song. If I put out the Zach Fox song, I gotta put out all the other songs. It's crazy, but the cave. I think the only reason it works is because people can feel that the shit is authentic. Like, none of those days were like us being like, all right, yo, so you gotta be funny on camera, or yo, like you gotta do this or this. Like, Zach, fucking, you should wear a top hat. Like, we didn't ever say any stupid shit like that. Like, it was just like, yo, can you please come to the studio for 30 minutes so we can film this thing? Like, that was it. That's literally all I said to anybody. It's too good to be true. I just hope we can keep it going as good as it is, because I like watching it just as much as I like making it. Next season needs to be crazy. I need Ed Sheeran opening the cave next season. Who designed the cave? Honestly, this studio was basically like this when I got it. I just put floors, TVs, desks. We put the neon sign, the don't overthink shit. Hey, Lil J's vision. If you really got some mental health shit going on, my boy, you can hit me in the DM. This is not the fucking place. I'm inclined to roast you right now, but I think you might actually be sad. So hit me in the DM. If not, and you in here saying all kinds of fucked up mental health shit because you're trying to get someone to look at your SoundCloud link or something like that, I'm about to fucking flame you, boy. So if it's serious, I'm sorry. I love you. Just hit me in the DM. But don't be talking crazy in my comments, bro. Please put Earl Sweatshirt on the cave. That would be tight, huh? I saw Earl a couple months ago. He fucking just knows more rap music than anybody I've ever met. It's crazy. Anything you bring up to that man, you just say, yo, have you heard of this? You heard of this? He fucking knows it, and he knows all the lyrics to it. Shit is crazy. I'm just taking it easy today, guys. I was actually supposed to be filming the cave right now, but we're not. Hold on, I'm gonna play a song. Where the fuck is my backpack? Bow, 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 bow. Jid on the cave would be tight. Yeah, you know who I'm trying to, bro? I'm trying to work with DaBaby probably more than anybody right now. I fucking love DaBaby. Like, DaBaby, I feel like he seems like one of those dudes where it don't even matter what beats you give him. I feel like he's just gonna snap on anything. Like, he's just so fun to listen to. It's kind of like, it's almost like Black Youngster, but it's like more serious. The same age. Shit is sad. Anything coming with Chance the Rapper? I fucking hope so. I met Black Youngster one time. You want to know something about Black Youngster? I was in the studio with my other friend. It was in the studio in LA. I can't remember what studio. I think it was East West or something like that. But they were like, oh yeah, Youngster's here. Like, Youngster's about to pull up, whatever. Black Youngster came in the room, and like, this is whenever like he was going the craziest on Instagram, like posting so many funny like videos of him and money and him saying stupid shit. He came into the studio, and I was expecting him to just be like crazy and act hella funny and shit like that. He walked in like very, very calm, very cool, and there was probably like 15 or 20 people in this big studio, like sitting around the island, sitting in chairs, sitting on the couch. Black Youngster came into the studio and dapped up every single person one by one in the studio and was just like, hey, good to meet you, Youngster. Hey, good to meet you, Black Youngster. Hey, what's going on, bro? Good to meet you. What's your name, Youngster? Like 20 people. I know that sounds like normal, but it was just like shocking to me that someone who on the internet, you expect this guy to be like funny, like trying to get a laugh, and he came in and he was like one of the most respectful dudes I've ever met. For a rapper in a couple $100,000 worth of jewelry to go shake every single person's hand, 20 people in the studio, like, it's a solid guy, you know what I mean? It's a good dude. I don't even know if I would do that. Just on some like, it's like a lot of work. Like, you walk in, no one's gonna feel disrespected if you, hey, how y'all feeling? Say hi to a couple people. Like, no one will ever feel disrespected by that. But the fact that an artist that big can walk in, you know what I mean, and give every person a moment of like, hey, good to meet you, like a real dude, it just says something about you. You know, he does that on purpose, I'm sure, you know what I mean, to set the tone of like, hey, I might be funny on the internet, but like, I'm a solid guy. Like, treat me with the same respect I'm gonna treat you with. It goes a long way. Especially like, I'm at a point now where I'm probably fucked up because I've been in so many rooms with so many artists that I'm just used to like being around it, I guess. But when you're like someone who's just getting started working on music, and you in a room full of people and everybody's got more money and everybody's more successful and everybody's like more comfortable than you, and an artist, a big artist or a really popular person comes up to you and gives you a handshake and says, hey, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Like, makes you feel good, especially when you're not popping or you're not getting a lot of money or you think you're the least like deserving of respect in the room because everybody else more successful than you. To see an artist come up and say some shit like that, like, yeah, no, I'm not talking about Vince. Fuck Vince. But yeah, Black Youngster, only interaction I ever had with that guy is he was a super, super solid guy, super good dude. And then I saw him buy like $30,000 worth of jewelry, like 5 minutes after that. Oh. Oh. Do y'all want to hear some new shit? How about whoa. See if you can guess who this is.
This shit that I'm living, you know that I'm rap. Whip it up in the kitchen, you know that we trap. Got a you know that they was over.
Wow. I don't know what I was on with that pattern, but. Hi, Romeo. Romeo, where are you right now?
Oh, kidding. Fell school with the glizzy, I didn't pay attention. I was out here leaks trying to run on my dick. I was broke, I was bummy, I run on my ridge. Now look at me now, man, I fuck all the bitch. This shit that I'm living, you know that I'm rap. Whipping dope in the kitchen, you know that we trap. Got a switch on my Glock, so it shoot automatic. Jet like a stripper, you know that we clap. You know I can't change, I'm stuck in my way. I do anything for me to get paid. Them niggas who broke on minimum wage. I'm stuck in that storm on rainy days. Now I flex on these bitches like John and Bravo. You run up on me, not the meat at the top. I put that in your back like that little nigga running. If I want you whacking, you know that.
Ooh. Oh my god, I got the new Tisa.
I told it double dare.
Tisa Korean might be the best out right now.
I told it double dare. We at the carnival, I really like the fair. She took her jacket off because it's hot in her. At that shit, good, please do not.
I wish I knew what that man was thinking when he makes music. Because he's a fucking genius. Oh, I got some mixes. Hold on, I can play some mixed songs.
Bag on a nigga here real quick. That shit, my little bro here, take your pick. Ice on my neck, yeah, come capture that. That thing in the club, nigga, I ain't taking shit. We put the bricks in the hood. I brought a wolf to the hood. Don't want your pussy, I'm good. Water on me and it flood. I keep the K, wash shit off in the tub. Ain't beat the case, so we cannot the judge. Lip with a trip and just shot it and fuck. She eat the dick in her mouth like it's fudge. Put on your block as a team. I know I ain't hit you with beans. Take off his face if he mean.
Oh my god. Oh. Mitchell, it's mixed. This is produced by me and my intern Mitchell. Go.
Oh, get it. Really, I ain't getting no more what you doing. Three one gang on the one count nigga. We up, look at that pocket they look. Real hood nigga, now I ain't suits. Young nigga do a job buying a two-shot. That nigga shit put for my juice. Hot boy shit smoking dope in a cruise ship. I flew a bit to Japan. You wanna shot 20 grand. You tryna flex for the gram. Get your ass shots went down. I flipped up the set, goddamn. Demon shit horns on my head like a round. I don't wanna feed through shit in spam. Rice those food for me, I don't eat now. Fuck around, ride by, and drop. I was at South by, get it hot, black like popcorn. Hit a pop, send a little back to him, get a drop.
Jeez. This is one of my favorite beats I made in a while. Let me show y'all.
Oh, get it. Hello? Man, I stopped trying a long time ago. Niggas still sketching up. Niggas down, they blaming us. Hey, not me. The way I finesse is a art. I think I'm Versace. Hey, I'm used to eating noodles. My bitch, I love for noodles. Hey, okay, 30 band pool. Hey, Japanese dinner, Japanese dinner. Remember the time they believe in. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back real quick.
Oh, kid, hello? Man, I stopped trying a long time ago. Niggas still sketching up. Niggas down, they blaming us. Hey, not me. The way I finesse is a art. I think I'm Versace. Hey, I'm used to eating noodles. My bitch, I love for noodles. Hey, okay, 30 band pool. Hey, Japanese dinner, Japanese dinner. Remember the time they believe in. Yeah. Look at him. Hey,
he said, oh my god, I think I just picked up on something. He said, remember the time they believe in him. What? Hold on. I'll be right. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna come. Hold on. This shit just keep going down because I dipped. Fuck is up? The real Merc, I gotta block you off top. You're being a mad weird. I'm sorry, bro. Bye. Block. Yes, I'm in the cave right now. This is the cave. The cave is just my studio, and people started calling that. People started calling it all kinds of stupid shit, but somebody said the cave, and then somebody else random who didn't know that person said the cave, and then like a couple days, I was like, wow, it must really feel like that. So we got the sign in here, and people started calling it the cave, and we had to put a name for our show, so we just called it that. I don't know. The fuck else am I supposed to call it? This shit is a dark ass room in a weird ass part of California. Please spend the night. This shit is 2 rooms and a booth and hella parking, and it's private and it's soundproof, and I can get loud as fuck, and I can be here 24 hours a day, and I can do whatever the fuck I want in here. And rappers bring hella guns and hella stupid ass shit here all the time, and I can't get in trouble. So it's pretty fire. Even if I had a whole bunch of bread and I made a whole bunch of money really fast, and I could afford like my dream studio, like the most perfect studio ever, I still wouldn't want to leave this room because so much shit has happened in this room. You got to think about like all the Key songs, all the Greedo songs, all the Rico songs, shit with Vince, shit was I made for Ski, shit I made for A Boogie, shit I made for fucking so many different people. Freddie's project, All Blacks project, Q the Fools project. It's so much music that got made in this room. Even if I got all types of other money, like I need to keep this room. Even if it's like my assistant or like one of my friends takes it over or something, like this room always is gonna be somebody I know in here. Why are you making that face? I'm saying I made a bunch of the shit for FM in this room. Why do random ass people want to go fucking live, bro? You really want to go live with me at 2 a.m.? What the fuck are you on? No. I'm not in my fields. I just fucking love my studio. I feel fortunate. I remember being in a fucking dorm room in college being like, wow, if I just had my own place to stay and my own studio to make some fucking music and some weed and a little car, that's all I fucking need. I remember thinking that all the time, like, oh, I just need an apartment, I need a little place to make music with some speakers, and I need a fucking booth, and I need a car, and that's all I need, and some weed. Now, every day of my life, I get to work in my own studio, I got my own place, I got my own whip. That's all I ever wanted. My number's not super high. Everybody has a number. Like, no matter who you are, you got a certain amount of money that you need to do all the shit you want to do. For some people, that number is like $100 million. Some people want houses in all these different places, and they want beautiful cars at all those houses, and they want jewelry every day, and they want to wear all Gucci, and they want to eat at 5-star restaurants 5 times a day, and they want to fly on jets. Some people want to do all that shit. You probably need $100 million or more if that's the shit you dream about doing. I don't dream about any of that shit. I want to have my one crib, make sure my parents have their own cribs, make sure all 3 of us have a nice car, and make sure I have a place where I can make music all day and have everything I want. Any kind of guitar, any kind of equipment, anytime. That's all I need. That and weed is really all I'm worried about, bro. So my number is probably like, it's in the millions for sure. I think anybody, if your dreams are in the million, I don't think anyone can live their entire dreams for a couple $100,000. But my number's not that high. So I feel very fortunate to be able to do a lot of shit I be able to do. Because I remember wanting all the shit I have now. I remember wanting a studio, wanting my own car, wanting my own crib. You feel me? I don't forget that shit. I feel like some people forget when they were like either depressed or broke or whatever, they get out of it and they forget what it was like to be like that. Like, that's just the one thing with me. The reason I'm always talking so much shit is because I remember when no one gave a fuck about my beats. I remember whenever I didn't have an apartment and couldn't pay rent. I remember when I didn't have my own studio and I wish I could make music somewhere outside of my fucking bedroom. Like, I still feel that shit all the time. It still stresses me out when I think about it. I'm like, man, I remember I didn't have none of this shit. I used to be at the fucking crib, bro. Like, oh, if I could just get this much money so I could do this. If I could just get a little more money, I could do this. Now I get to do all the shit I want to do, and I don't have to even compromise. I don't do no corny shit. I don't sell beats to no artists I don't like. I work my own fucking hours. Even though I work a lot of hours, I pick when I work, when I don't. I feel fortunate. I don't ever spend a day being like, man, I deserve this. I earn this. Da, 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 da. I don't ever think that or say that. I do not think that. I don't think I deserve it. I don't think I earned it. I don't think I should be here rather than anybody else. I feel lucky as fuck and fortunate as fuck. And it don't have to do with money. It has to do with just being able to, like, have a place to make music and a place to live and a car and money for food and money for weed and money for clothes. Like, it's a lot of people who don't have that much. So, hey, if my music does super well and I make a bunch of money on it, cool. But I'm not sitting here thinking about how do I make a hit so I can make the most money. A lot of my best friends and a lot of the people I really look up to and, like, people I study and shit literally are fucking so hit focused. It's all they care about. How do I get a hit? How do I get the biggest song? How do I reach the most amount of people with this fucking shit I'm working on? Like, if that's how you think, I'm not discrediting you. It's just like, that's not for me. I'm trying to impress myself and my friends. If I can make all my friends fucking bug out about a song, that's a way better indicator to me than, like, any amount of bread or any shit like that. I'm just talking shit. I've been drinking yerba for fucking 5 hours. Jesus Christ. I never understood when people who are like not doing it yet, or just like figuring out what they want to do or figuring out how they're going to do it, in their dreams are like, I need a big ass house and I need jewelry and I need all this shit. My whole process, I always like would just want a little more than I had. I wanted a little more than I had. If I fucking got a beat to someone and they didn't pay me and I was working a normal job, I was like, okay, hopefully I can just get paid next time I work on it and I can get closer to fucking not having to work this job. Then whenever I started getting paid for beats all the time, I started realizing, like, it's still not enough to pay rent. So I was like, okay, I just want to be able to pay rent off music. If I can pay rent off music, that's all that matters. Fucking, then I had to do the DJ shit to pay my rent. Once I started paying my rent off music, I was like, okay, now my only goal is to be able to do music I like and pay my rent instead of just whatever music. Now I get to do that. So, like, now I'm paying my rent, helping people out, and fucking doing whatever the fuck I want to do, basically, for the first time in my life. I used to do a lot of shit to get money. Now all I do is make songs I really like and the shit pays me. So trust me, I feel fortunate every day. I don't ever pat myself on the back. That's why I'm here at fucking 2:47 in the morning and I've been here since 11 a.m. I'm not losing my spot. I'm not losing how valuable fucking my place is right now in the game. I'm trying to fucking work harder and harder and harder with any artist I work with. And I'm taking on more artists every single week. anybody I hear, and if someone right now plays me a song and I love it, I'm gonna hit that person up and start working with them. Period. I'm not fucking slowing down at all just because I knocked some shit off my list. Last year, you know how much I would have died to do a Ski Mask song, to do a Thug song, to do a fucking whole project for Rico, to do shit like this. A year ago, I would have been like, man, I would do anything to do some of that shit. I don't now feel like, oh, I did that shit, whatever, that's nothing. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I fucking did that shit. That just proved to me I'm on the right path. I don't have to fucking be lame to go up. I didn't fucking always know, like, oh yeah, I could just keep doing what I'm doing, shit gonna work out. There's a lot of times where I'm thinking like, man, maybe I should start sending beats. Maybe I should start trying to go for hits. Maybe I should start making songs that feel more relevant or that can sell bigger. There's times where I think about shit like that, and then something really good happens with a song I made for fun. And I'm like, fuck that other shit. I'm definitely not fucking with it if I have to think about it too hard. If I just do some shit because I feel like it and it feels good to me, that's always the best songs. When I start sitting here thinking about, this needs to be like this so people like it, or if I do this, it's gonna be bigger, that's when I make the most trash. When you start thinking about what the internet is gonna say, you make trash every time. New rule: think about what your best friend will say when you make a song, not the internet. And if your best friend tells you they like everything, they're not your fucking best friend. So the people closest to you should be the ones who keep it the most real with you. People on the internet, even if they really like your shit, you can't trust it. It's not gonna make you happy whenever you're fucking at the crib and shit, whenever the computer's turned off. Like, you gotta have the people around you excited with what you're doing. You can't live in this weird world of like, what is the internet gonna do? And then have all the people around you think your shit is lame. If all the people around you aren't fucking with your shit, but you're getting a bunch of plays, there's something wrong there. You feel me? Am I just saying stupid shit? I feel like I'm making sense. Mine says all your friends will be supportive as shit or don't be around them. Maybe that worked for him. He's done a lot of dope shit, but that's never helped motivate me. My friends tell me, hey bro, you killed it. That's the shit, that's fucking kryptonite. That's when I start being like, hey, I am nice. Oh, my shit is hot. As soon as you start thinking you're fire, my best friends call me ugly and tell me that my beats sound like fucking GarageBand loops until I make something really crazy. And when I make something really crazy, trust me, no one can talk shit. If you really make something that's that next level, your friends are gonna go, oh my God. What, bro, you made that? Oh my, bro, I can't even lie, that shit. Your friends are the bar. Art reject, your mom looks like Bill Burr. Can you break bread with me? Break bread with me. I'm gonna keep leaking this until he drops it.
Seasoned vet, watch me twist the top off the alcohol, bouncing balls, watch me switch to pivot. They be like, Peggy, what you doing? I say big business. I could be hating on this game, bitch, I got kids in it. Like for real. Look, I'm cashing out. Yo, Kofi, I'm tagging in. They gon' bring your casket out. I hope that you fit in it. Ooh, what you doing, babe? How you get caught with no gap? You niggas must got no pride, for real. Thanks. Seasoned vet, watch me twist the top off that alcohol, bouncing balls, watch me switch to pivot. They be like, Peggy, what you doing? I say big business. I could be hating on this game, bitch, I got kids in it. for real. Look, I'm cashing out. Young Kofi,
I hope he drops that song. Shit's so fucking hard. Young Kofi, young passionate. It's really 3 a.m. I gotta go home. I'm about to be back here in like 6 hours. Everybody have a safe night. Don't gas yourself up too hard. There's more work to be done. Summer 2019, no relaxing. We're trying to get this fucking money. We're trying to get ahead. We're taking all our days off and we're doing 2 days in the studio. This is Grammy season. I love you. I'm here, have to pay me to be here, have to pay an engineer. Like, I took all that shit out of the equation at my studio. But when we filmed the show, it's just like, it's rushed. The song isn't serious. So normally, like, it's really just about showing the process and showing people while they're working and shit like that. I'm so glad people enjoy it, because I, for a long time, didn't think there was anything to film in here. Like, I knew there were certain people I was working with, or I knew there were certain artists that were in here that I wanted to either film while they were working or take pictures of them or just have evidence. Not for clout, just for, like, in 30 years from now, people aren't going to believe, like, seeing a picture of Vince Staples when he's in his 20s working on FM. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't going to believe seeing video of O3 Greedo in here talking about his life, talking about his jail sentence, talking about all this shit before he went to jail. Like, people are not going to believe seeing Rico in here as a 20-year-old, or seeing Key making 777. Like, I feel like in a 10 years, 20 years from now, like, you're going to look back and see those pictures or see those little videos, and that's when they're going to be really important. So for me, like, I'm not filming a lot of people right now and posting it. Like, Eris, who films all the cave shit, all my shit, everybody in the studio, Eris just stocks everything away. Whether, even if it's videos of me, videos of really famous people, not so famous people, whatever. We just got all this footage of everyone who comes here. And, like, you might see Schoolboy Q in here the same day you see fucking Drago and Bino, the same day you see Ski Mask, the same day you see Vince or Rico or whoever. Like, there's so many people who I just love to just work with and be around and smoke weed with, like, that normally we don't use the photos and the video to blow up my socials or to, like, leak shit about people's music. We don't do that. We just film people so we have the proof of, like, oh my God, this is the kid. This is this big legend when he was only 20. Or, like, this is this amazing artist who stopped making music when they still were making music. Or this is this young producer who used to make rap beats and then he ended up being in the biggest band in the world. You never know what's going to happen to people. There's people who have come to my studio and we've taken pictures with them and just had them here having fun, whatever. And 2 years later, we'll be like, oh my fucking God. Like, look at Tisa. Like, Tisa was in here months and months and months and months and months ago. 10K was in here months and months and months and months ago. Like, young ass kids who come here and just fuck around, or like Booba Savage, just young kids I really like, who I think are, like, talented. They'll come here, fuck around, make some songs, whatever. And then in, like, 8 months from now, it's like, oh yeah, you know that new Chance the Rapper song? That kid who's on that song, Tisa, was in here a year ago. Here's the videos of him when he first came to the studio. Like, shit like that to me is tight. I don't give a fuck if anybody thinks, like, oh, Kenny's the most up on new shit, or, like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just care about, if I really believe in somebody, I'm gonna document that we're working, or that it's not for the internet, it's just for me. I'm just gonna document, like, oh, I remember this 6 months when all these kids from Texas was coming in here, or all these kids from Detroit were coming in here, or whatever it is. Like, I used to just put that shit in the archives. The Cave is the first time I've ever, like, dropped any kind of video or photo about people working in here. Because for me, if I felt better about doing some shit like the Cave, because it wasn't so, like, I don't know, it wasn't so serious. Like, I feel like if someone comes in here and they spill their heart out and it's me and them alone in this room and we make all this fucking music, and then the next day I'm tweeting, blah, 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 was in here last night, like, here's a picture of them, da 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 da. That shit ruins it for a lot of artists. It's not fun to make shit if you feel like someone's in there taking pictures of you or leaking the shit before it's done, or like putting up snippets. That shit blows me, so I know it blows a lot of rappers. We already filmed next week of The Cave. It's already ready. See it in a couple days. I'm gonna start dropping previews in a couple days. But yeah, I'm just happy people fuck with it, bro. I was in here going on live and fucking working with people every day and doing my shit for months and months and months and months. And it never crossed my mind like, oh, people want to see this. Because I would go on live and have 30 people in my shit. Or bad connection. Like, I would post some shit and it would get 500 likes, or I would go on live and I get 20 people in there, or whatever it was, and there'd be big ass artists here, or like popping people will be here, and I would just go on live to be funny, or I would post a little something to be funny, but I never really like showed people what was going on in here. In The Cave, we started showing people, and people fuck with it, and that to me like means everything, because my team who helped me make it, the people who were in the room with me, myself, like none of us are acting or like making a show so that it'll pop off on Twitter. Like, we're literally just fucking around in the studio, and we started filming it. It makes me so happy to see the support, man. I can't tell you how happy it makes me, because I don't expect the support. I don't expect anybody to fuck with my shit. I don't expect you to like my beats. I don't expect you to think I'm tight. I don't give a fuck. All I care about is if the artist I'm working with is really happy with their music. That's my goal. And I'm showing people how I do that. A really small portion of it, but that's what The Cave is. It's just showing people the process a little bit. Do y'all want a Woe Kenny Eminem? Hold on. We have, you can't even see it. Kenny. Oh, it's backwards. It says Woe Kenny though. Oh, I can answer questions? Oh, how does this shit work? How'd you get where you are now? Working on Rico Nasty events. I didn't know I could do Q&As. This shit is tight. The way I got to working with Rico was I hit her up all the time on fucking Twitter, and she would just be like, send beats, or like say some rude shit. I ended up finding out it wasn't even her on her Twitter. It was someone answering for her. But I would just hit her all the time. And one day, I think I had some other songs that were like kind of popping off, and I hit Rico up, and one of my friends was in the studio with Rico. So I was like, let me pull up, da-da-da-da. I hit Rico, she's like, yeah, pull up. I went there, we made a song that sounded like old Rico shit, like really cute, fun, and then it was whatever, no one really cared. And then she was like, can you make some heavy metal shit? And so I tried to make some heavy metal shit. I wasn't prepared for that, but I had some guitars on my computer, and I made the beat to Smack a Bitch, and I was not done. It was like a Cave episode. I wanted to keep going, but she was like, nah, load it up. So I made the beat to Smack a Bitch, and then she got on it. And then months and months and months and months later, I was sitting right here in this same spot. I was probably on live for like 20 people, and I remember I had my phone face down, just like on the table, and I was making beats for mad long. And then I turned my phone over after making beats for like an hour. I was definitely on live. I remember being on live with like no people in my live. And I turned my phone over, and it was all these text messages and all these numbers from random people, like nobody that I knew, no one in my contacts. And it started being like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah from this label, or this is blah, blah, blah from this label. And everybody just started being like, would you like to work with Vince? Would you have any interest in getting in the studio with Vince? All these people asking me. And then at the bottom of all of the numbers was a text message or a DM from Vince, and it just said, "What's up, black man?" And I was like, what the fuck is this? I didn't answer any of the other numbers. I didn't answer any of the people who hit me. I just answered Vince. And I was like, yo, I got a studio in Burbank. Like, pull up on me when you got time. He's like, I'm on the way. He pulled up right away, started playing me some songs, and was like, this is going to be my next project. I started playing him anything I could to flex. Like, anything I had on my computer that I thought was tight. I was just trying to make him think I was tight. So I was trying to play all rare, like, secret shit that I have on my computer. He did not care. Like, he literally was just, like, on his phone. Like, I think he probably knew what I was trying to do. He was just not entertained about any of the shit I was playing. But then I just randomly had played this new shit I was working on, which was All Black. I don't know if y'all know All Black. If you don't know him, you need to know about him. But at the time, I was working on my project with All Black, which is out now. It's called 2 Minute Drills. I played one of the All Black songs for Vince. He grabbed his friend. He was like, yo, you hear what he said? Started paying attention, and then started telling me, like, yeah, I want some shit. It feels more like this shit than the other shit that you're doing. And that's how it started. You probably were asking me how I got to the point that I could hit up people, but that's a good answer for now. How much for a regular person to come record? I've got to answer this because I get this the most in my DMs more than anything. I don't charge studio time. I don't charge for my beats. I don't charge to work with me or be in the room with me. I only work on shit if I really like it. That's all there is to it. You can ask anyone who's ever been in here with me. If they have no followers or they have no money or they have a lot of money, a lot of followers, like, I only fuck with shit I fuck with. It has nothing to do with your size. I could play you 10 artists right now who have no following and no money. But I rock with them and I'm here to help them all the time. I'm not gonna sell what goes on here or what I do. I'm not going to let you randomly buy a conversation or buy a session here because it's like we're not doing it the right way. If I'm sitting here and I'm just doing what I know how to do, trying to make your shit as hot as I can make it, we're gonna fail. The only way it's gonna work is if we're both really excited about what's going on. And I can't lie, if I've never heard your shit and you're coming up and you're just starting to make music, blah, 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 and the music doesn't resonate with me, I can't work on it. It doesn't matter how much money. Like, I have kids offer me crazy money just to come in the cave and film. Like, nah. I gotta fuck with it. It doesn't matter anything about what you have going on or if you're popping. Kids always try to hit me with their plays or like who fucks with them or like shit to flex. I don't care. It doesn't like, as long as I hear the song and it makes me go up and I start playing it back and want to sing it. Like, for example, is it like a kid, and this is not like what I was just talking about. This is not like a regular person or whatever, but there's this artist right now named Jay Anthony. And I saw him in the studio the other day. I didn't really know I was a fan of his shit before I met him, but I met him in the studio the other day, and he has this song. I don't want to say the name of it. I don't want to say anything about it, but he has this song, and it's not out, and it's not like coming out on some big label. It's got no big artist on it or nothing like that, but he played it for me in the studio the other day, and I was obsessed with it. And then I was with Carmack, and Carmack had it on his computer somehow, and Carmack was playing it the other day, and I was like, man, I don't give a fuck what's going on with this kid. I don't care about if he has hits. I don't care about what's going on with him. I just want to help him. His name is Jay Worthy. He's also a producer. He's amazing. But I find new artists and I find the people I want to work with or the people I want to invite to my studio normally via my friends. So if one of my friends comes to me and he's like, yo, this kid's got no views, but this shit's fire. Or like, yo, this kid is funny as hell. Or yo, these beats are crazy. Like, I don't know about this rapper, but this producer's going nuts. Shit like that happens to me all the time. And my friend group is so big. I have like a small group of close friends, but I got a big ass group of people I fuck with. It's a whole lot of people. And like, they're putting me onto shit from California, from where they're from the internet, from whatever. Like, trust me, I'm listening. All I do all day is listen. I wouldn't spend the time to come on here and answer questions and talk if I wasn't listening. So just make some hot shit and I'm gonna fuck with you. Like, I'm doing a lot of work. I'm here all the time with different people. If I hear it and I love it, I'm bringing you through. I'm just not gonna let you buy your way in here, because it's not the way for either one of us, I don't think. Do you mix, master your own beats? How'd you learn? What's your mastering chain? I know there's a lot of questions. I'm gonna do the beginning of it. I used to mix and master and do everything myself with the help of my one friend, TJ. I would basically mix the whole record, bring it to him. TJ would help me get it really loud. If something wasn't sitting right, I would go back to the mix, change some shit, give it back to TJ. I can tell you this, for the most part, everything from the last year, like over 100, 120 of my songs, they're mostly mixed by me, for the most part. If you hear, like, the Ski Mask shit is Alex, the A Boogie shit is Alex, all the new Rico shit is Alex. Tumay does pretty much anything I get my hands on now. The new Smoke Perp shit is Alex. Like, but all the old Key shit, all the old Rico shit, all the Freddie shit, all, like, a lot of these beats that you heard from me last year, I mixed myself. I'll tell you why, though. Not because I think I'm fire at mixing, not because I know how to do it better than people around me. I was just trying to make sure my shit came out. I was trying to make sure I got all the music I was working on onto the internet. And I hate to say this, but the song quality and the beat quality and everything was way more my focus last year than the sonic quality, if that makes sense. I wanted to make the best songs and the best beats and put shit out that people are really going to fuck with. But sometimes when the conversation comes up of, like, who's going to mix it, who's going to pay for the mixing, shit gets hard. And I worked on a lot of shit last year where I barely made any money. So if I had to pay the little bit of money that I made out to get it mixed, I was going to end up with $0 in a lot of shit, which is okay. But I got to pay bills too, just like everybody else. I got bills. I got family, I got bills, I got all that. So I did a lot of the shit myself. Now I'm at a point where either the artist I'm working with or the situation I have with Alex or whatever it is, I'm able to get a lot more of my shit mixed. But I don't ever think you should get your music held up or get shit you're working on to not come out or whatever because of a mix. Start learning. Do the best you can. Listen to it in your car, listen to it on your AirPods, your fucking earbuds, your fucking speakers at your studio, listen to it on the iPhone, listen to it on your MacBook, listen to it everywhere you can and keep tweaking it. Keep YouTubing shit, keep trying to find little things to help you, like, try to fucking get it to sound good everywhere you can possibly test it. That's the first thing I was doing. I had a couple friends who would teach me some shit, I would read a bunch of shit, but I still knew I didn't know enough to really mix a record the way I wanted to. But I would go listen to, like, 777 or all the records off Nasty by Rico or, like, the Freddie Gibbs project or whatever it was. I would go listen to it in my car, in my studio, on my phone, on the earbuds, on fucking the computer speakers, like anywhere. And I would start to hear, like, oh my God, when I play this in my friend's car, the bass sounds like shit. Or like, oh no, when I play this on the iPhone, like, that snare is so loud. Like, it would literally just be shit like that. A lot of it was just levels. And so I go back. Don't let your shit not come out because you don't have $1,000 to go pay someone to mix it, or $3,000 or whatever kind of mixer you're trying to work with. I'll tell you this right now, if you want to know, the most expensive guys in rap music, the most expensive, the craziest it gets is like $7,000, $8,000 to get a mix, just a mix. As far as I've seen, even on top A-list shit, that's the biggest. People paying $7, $8,000 per song. That's a lot. Do I think you can get a really good mix from a lot of people for $500 to $1,000? Yeah, I know a great amount of people who aren't up with the credits yet, but know what they're doing. I think, is getting your shit mixed worth it if you can afford it and you can make it make sense? Yes. Especially if you know someone you trust who can make your music sound how you hear it in your head. But if you can't afford to mix something and you can't afford to get a professional to do it yourself, do you not drop it? No, idiot. Get it as good as you can. You're also not in a rush. What's your fucking rush? You're not competing with anybody. Put your shit out when it's the best, or it's going to get less of a reaction, less people going to fuck with it. You're going to get less opportunities. So take your time. Just fucking, the best thing you can do is listen to your music a million places and find the holes. It's a good thing when you hear your music somewhere and it sounds fucked up. That's a good thing. It teaches you something. It teaches you, oh man, I'm too comfortable in this one area when I'm in my studio. The bass always sounds good in my studio, but how come when I go in the car and I play in my friend's car, the shit ain't hitting like that? Like, that's something to research for the next 3 days. You know what I mean? But definitely don't overthink shit. I know that's my motto and it's corny and it's like the shit on my show and everything, but don't overthink shit is my brand for a reason. You gotta just like do less. If you use really clean samples and you EQ everything really well and your levels are really good, you can get super far with that and with a little bit of master. A little bit of a fucking either mastering chain or someone putting you can get shit mastered now on an app for like, I think it's like 30 or 50 bucks. There's a lot of opportunities. Just try a bunch of shit. Try as much shit as you can, as much shit as you can afford, and let that shit drop. And the more shit you drop, the more the money's gonna go up, the more the awareness is gonna go up, the more people you can fuck with, blah blah, or not let people hear your shit because it's up the perfect mix. You think 777 is perfectly mixed? Like, no. Is it the thing I'm the most proud of ever in my career? Yeah. Do you think Smack a Bitch by Rico was perfectly mixed and mastered when that shit came out? No. It was straight out the studio. It sounded like ass. But did it make people like the music less? No. I'm gonna answer this one super quick. I got a lot of shit coming out that's not rap very soon. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. And it's fire. Yes, I made a song with Choppa. We working on another one. Very, 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 very talented young man. How'd you get your first major placement, bro, and with who? I'm seeing Gibbs tomorrow, actually. My first major placement and who and how. I would consider my first major placement Schoolboy Q Party. Because before that, I'd co-produced a song for Kendrick and Smoke DZA. I'd co-produced a song for like Dom Kennedy and Smoke DZA. I co-produced a couple other things, some names on it. But once I got into like once I did a couple TDE things, to me that felt as big as possible because I was such a big Q and Kendrick and Ab Soul fan. When I was in college, I was obsessed. Though how did I get the placement? Was selling weed at college, if you want to be real about it. I made beats every day after school in my dorm, and I knew a lot of producers on the internet. So I've definitely told this story in an interview before, but I knew a lot of different guys who made beats. I would fucking try to DM Hit Boy or Chasing Cash, or I tried to DM people who were like Tay Beast or people who were working on TDE shit. I would always hit them up on MySpace or wherever I could hit them up. And I got really friendly with this kid named Rock on the internet, RAHK. And Rock had produced some shit on really, really early Kendrick projects. He like did one or two songs on some, not overly dedicated, but a tape either right before that or right after that, really early Kendrick. And so I knew he was close enough to them that he was talking to them here and there. Like he was sending them beats. He was doing little shit with TDE. And there was a TDE concert in Boston. I went to Berkeley, so I was at school. I was literally just at college. No, it's not Rocky with an I. It's just Rock, R-A-H-K. Probably was Kendrick Lamar EP. Yeah, I think that was it. But Rock and I were cool on the internet. I saw that Schoolboy Q was playing like his first like headlining Schoolboy Q show for the Habits tour in Boston at the Paradise Rock Club, which was like 2 miles from where my little dorm was. And so I hit up this kid and I was like, yo, bro, like Schoolboy Q's gonna be here, bro. Like, any way you could link me with someone from the team. Like, I just want to bring them weed, whatever I got to do. I'm not trying to be thirsty. Like, if they need weed or whatever, let me know. I'll pull up to the show. In my mind, I was like, if I get them weed and I get cool enough, I'll probably get an email. I can send some beats, something. I was just trying to get around shit because I wasn't around anything. I was around my friends acting cool. He linked me with somebody, some random number. Rock was like, yeah, I got you. They definitely gonna need weed. Link me up with them. I went to some address. They hit me up. They're like, well, we're going to be at this address at this time. I got there. It was a sneaker store. And they were doing a shoe signing, like, before the show that day. So I went to the sneaker store. Somebody came and met me around the side. I think it was like their TM or some shit. And then brought me to the back. And in the back, Ab Soul was just chilling there. So Ab had not dropped Control System yet, which is my favorite project of his. And I think his biggest project. But we had yet to meet or anything like that. I was just a huge fan, and the TM brought me back because I got linked with him from a producer on the internet to sell them some weed. So I gave Ab all the weed that I had with me. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm a fan, bro. Just take this, whatever. And I expected him to be like, all right, good to meet you, bro. And I was going to try to, like, say some little shit. And he was like, nah, it's good. You want to smoke one, bro? Whatever. Like, he was just chilling by himself because the Q was in the front signing shit. He didn't want to be a part of any of that. So he was just in the back of the sneaker store just hanging out in the, like, back room. So we rolled up. We smoked a bunch of weed. We talked about just random shit. Somehow we got to talking about his music, and he could tell I knew a lot about it. Or I was like, I knew every one of his lyrics, or I knew everything. I was trying not to be corny, but he could tell I was a fan. And we smoked for like a couple hours, and he was cool as fuck. Like, we didn't really talk about beats or music or anything, but we just hung out. And at the end of it, he was like, yeah, we're going to go to the hotel, whatever. If you want to come through to the show tonight, we got you. And I was like, wow, thank you. And right before he did, like, we were really walking out the room for them to go get in their cars and leave and shit. And I was like, yo, any way I could play you these beats, any way I could just, like, play you these 1 or 2 beats I got on my phone, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be weird. Just, is there any way I could play you some shit? And he was like, yeah, bro, come on. He's like, I got to be out of here, but come on. Gave him the headphones. He listened to those 3 beats that I had or whatever that in my mind were like the perfect TDE beats. He gave one of them to Q, it became Party, and then one of the other ones became 100 Stacks, which is Mac Miller, Ab Soul, Schoolboy Q, and Diddy. And those were 2 beats that I fucking played this man after I sold him some weed when I was in college, and that's how I got him to him. Like, it was that weird and random. I was hitting up people off the internet to try to link me with the TM so I could sell them some weed. And then I get to the fucking sneaker store. And I actually told this story on the It's the Real podcast. But yeah, like, don't think that it's going to be like this real simple path to like meeting somebody you fuck with, giving them the beats, they fuck with it. I was doing all this extra shit, just trying to get around the right people. And then once I was around the right people, you usually had to be around them a lot of time or a couple times before they were like, okay, you're not on no weird fan shit. Like, we'll let you be around. And then once you're around for a minute, the conversation of music comes up. But like, people don't want to wait that long. Nobody to get like when you in that point of like, I haven't gotten with any rappers yet. I don't even know if my beats are good enough. I hope somebody will fuck with my shit. You just thirsty. It's not your fault. I was the same way. We're all the same way. But like, you just thirsty for someone to fuck with you. So it feels like, oh my God, I'm in the room with this rapper. I'm never going to be in the room with this rapper again because I've never been around a rapper before. I got to take my chance. I got to take my shot. Sometimes that's true. But what I've learned over the years is like, you're going to see somebody again. If this really is your focus and this really is all you want to work on and you're obsessed with working with a certain group or whatever, and you already got that far once, you'll see them. You'll be around people again. It's better to make a good impression as a person. Like, make a good impression as a woman or a dude. Just like, oh, I'm a cool kid in this city who fucks with you. Maybe I brought some weed. Maybe I brought some food. Maybe I brought a gift, whatever it is. But like, if people are already just fucking with you as a person, when you start the conversation about music or business or anything else, you're not coming from this weirdo point of view anymore. Every placement I've gotten since then, I've learned from that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in rooms with people all the time now, and trust me, I've dreamed about doing the job that I do today. My whole life, all I ever wanted was a nice apartment with some weed. I want to work on rap music with my favorite artists. Have friends, have a girlfriend, normal shit. That's all I've ever wanted. So trust me, I wake up every day and feel so fortunate that I can be around all these talented people. But still, when I'm in a room with someone for the first time, if we don't make music that day, it's okay. If you only get one studio session with somebody and that whole studio session is built just getting cool or understanding each other, playing each other music, seeing where your head's at, that's fine. Sometimes that's what it takes. Like, I don't have a lot of shit that I can tell you 100% is going to work for you every time. I can't. It's very weird. But one thing I can tell you is, like, being a good person, being a good dude, being comfortable being yourself in a room full of artists or creatives who are used to people always wanting to use them for something, it goes a long way. So don't think about that first time you get around somebody that you want to work with, that's your only shot. Don't think about it like that. Build a rapport. Exactly. This question answer shit is tight. Wait, how do I look at... All right, hold on. I got to go back to the questions. How do I overcome my nervous about people hearing my music? I think I understand what you're trying to say. How do I overcome being nervous about people hearing my music? If you're a nervous person or you don't like public speaking or you're not very social or you whatever, I can't speak to that. My whole life I've talked too much. I was getting in trouble for being bad and saying crazy shit since I was a little kid. I can't relate to not the social part. But if you're nervous to play your music around people because you're not fully 1,000% confident in your music, that's something I can help with. I think everybody's nervous to play their music. Like, just off top. Everybody is worried that somebody has better shit than them, or that shit's not hot enough, or that they think their shit's too good and someone's going to hear it and shit on it. Everybody feels like that. Even when I play the biggest, best songs I've ever made that I know in my heart are so good around my like idols or around people I really want to work with, until that song is over and somebody says something, you don't know how people feel about your shit. So it shouldn't stop you from playing people's shit. You can't like sit there forever and wonder, what if I played it and they really liked it? You know what I mean? That's not a way to go out. So for me, if you feel a lot of nerves about your music and you feel like you don't like playing it for people or this and that, maybe it's because you're not confident in your product enough. And trust me, if you go dip off for a couple months and stop partying and stop worrying about fucking girls or meeting dudes or whatever it is that you do, like, if you take a couple months off and do nothing but work on your craft and YouTube the fuck out of shit and study as much as you can on your music and then play your music again for people after those couple months, I guarantee you're going to feel more confident about it. The more time you put into your shit, the more confident you're going to be. And one tip I can give everybody is, if you are playing people's shit, never, ever, ever say a whole bunch of shit about what's wrong with your music or what you don't like about it before you play it. Never do that. Or your art, or whatever the fuck else you do. Like, all I'm trying, you aren't, like, that's who you are. That's like what you're meant to. It's because in my head I was like, oh, I'm getting some money, I'm making some music, I'm making people happy, this is all good. And I started to realize, wow, this is who I am. If you don't know me and someone has to describe to you who's that kid, oh, he's a fucking DJ, oh, he makes EDM music, oh, but I was like, nah, that's not me though. I'm not like that at all. That's what I did. So if you're working on the shit that you really care about, and it's either your music or your art or whatever, your business, like, take the time. You just gotta push yourself harder. Spend more time alone, but you're always gonna have time to party. Unfortunately, Music theory is not that important to new producers. I don't fucking fault you. Like, do you need it to make fire? No. Do you need music theory to help artists make better music? Make better music and further what they're doing? Probably not these days. If you got enough like sounds and skill with production and you understand enough about what you're doing and you have a good ear naturally, if you just listen to a lot of shit and you've just always had a good ear, you can go a long way with no theory. You can be one of the best in the world with no music theory. Do I think music theory is a blind spot that a lot of people have? That is something you can work on to make you a bigger beast? Yeah. I didn't learn music theory on purpose, per se. I learned music theory because I wanted to play guitar, and I didn't want to go to normal college. And so you got to go to a music school. And if you got to go to a music school, you got to fucking do some kind of school. You can't just be good at guitar. So I had to learn to sight read, and I had to learn about harmony, and I had to learn about all that different music theory shit so I could play guitar in college instead of having to go to a normal school and be shitty at basketball. That was my other option. And go D3, be ass at basketball, just be tall for no reason, but have practice all year round. Or try to do this music shit in school, but you're going to have to learn theory. That's how I learned theory. But I don't use it every day. I'm just not going to lie to you. I think that's why Berkeley isn't fucked with me. Like, I went to Berkeley School of Music. I graduated, like I did everything I was supposed to do. They don't even put me in the fucking like alumni shit. They'll mention somebody doing like a lemonade stand or like doing a $300 fucking open mic stand in the middle of Boise, Idaho. But if I play at Lollapalooza, like they don't even mention it. They don't fuck with me. And I think the reason the music school I went to doesn't fuck with me is because I show them all the shit that you can do without their curriculum. Like, I went for guitar and music business and da-da-da-da. All my skill sets and everything I'm doing is shit I learned outside of that in the real world. So they're not, like, psyched to be like, oh, yeah, Kenny Beats went to our school. Because kids are going to be like, oh, so you can come here and make beats? And they're going to be like, nah. And you're like, oh, so you can come here and, like, you learn a lot about how to produce for rappers and how to maneuver in the industry today? Not really. All your professors are 60 years old and trying to talk to you about like Bruce Springsteen tours that they were on in the 70s. They're not rocking with me. I think it's because I show kids all the shit you can do without having to go to music school. To be me and to do the job I do you have to go to music school? Nah. Did going to music school help me a lot and make me better and make it so I get stuck in certain positions working on shit and I can fix it myself? Yes, it did do that. So, you know me, like I'm always going to preach to y'all about covering your blind spots, getting better at your shit. If there's areas you're weak at or shit you suck at, fix it. If you fire at producing or fire at vocals or fire at all this shit and you've never learned music theory, go take like the shitty piano lessons on YouTube for like literally 3 months once in a while, and you're going to get way better at the piano and you're going to know way more about notes. And whenever you're trying to set the auto tune and that shit's wrong but it sounds right, you're going to know why and you're going to know what note is fucking it up. Or when you get stuck in a room with a producer you thought was a fire producer and you realize, oh, this guy just does drums, and you got to play some chords or play some melodies for the first time, but every time you're at your studio you're fucking with splice, you're fucking with loops, you're fucking with MIDI, you're doing all this other shit. Music theory will help you. It'll make you better. And if you do music and that's all you do, I think you need to know how to record. I think you need to know how to produce. I think you need to know how to play some kind of instrument, even real shitty. And it's probably the piano, because the piano teaches you everything about where the notes are. It's like you can see everything. On the guitar, you can be fire at guitar and know nothing about theory because it's all shapes. If someone shows you how to play a chord in A, you can play that chord in B, C, D, E, F, that same shape. Just move your hand. In piano, if you have to play F chord or a C chord or a D chord or E chord or whatever, it's like it's all different shapes. You feel me? You can learn a lot of theory on children's YouTube piano lessons with a $25 MIDI keyboard. So there's no excuse. You don't have to go to fucking college to learn theory. Do you need theory when you're getting started? Probably not. Like, keep it funky. I don't think you need that shit. Like, do I think some of my favorite producers right now are worried about like the fucking cadences in their beat not matching up between the A section and the B section, and how the song structure should have a post chorus instead? No, I don't. They make some fire and somebody gets on it, and that's what it is. So that's what it is. A lot of people with fucking too much theory or too much experience in like other kind of music, like a guy who knows a lot about playing instruments and used to make EDM, when he gets to rap shit, he's gonna be like, oh, well, why don't we do this? It'll be more interesting. Or why don't you try to mix the kick better? Or why don't you try to fucking sidechain your 808 to your kick so that it breathes more? It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. This kind of music that I'm making some of the times, that a lot of people I fuck with make, like, the music started with kids who are doing shit themselves, and it got really good that way. I'm not going to go back to Shotta Flow by NLE Choppa and say, oh, maybe the snare could get EQ'd a little bit. Nah, that shit is fine. That song is hard as fuck. That kid made that song with his friend. It's so real. Like, everything about it is organic. When you come in, because you know a lot about music theory, you know a lot about other music, and try to fucking like dress up shit that is what it is for a reason, you miss the point, idiot. And like, now you're ruining the music, and no wonder that shit sounds corny and fucking super like straight laced, and you know what I mean? Like, you want shit to have imperfections, and I think theory sometimes, if you focus on that too much, you're not going to leave room for the little bit of error and the little bit of dirtiness that goes on, especially if you make rap music. That's true of pop or jazz or anything else, but like, the only reason I come on here and talk shit is because I literally just been through so much stupid shit and made through so many stupid mistakes. So I'm like, if I can help one kid not make a mistake, help another kid laugh, and then like teach another kid one little thing, that's worth going on live for me. I get bored as fuck when I go in other producers. I'm sure my shit is boring, but I go in other producers' lives and it's either like this, like, and they just cooking up, and it's like, all right. Or it's just like, yeah, you know what we doing, I got blah 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 behind me, yeah, you see where we at, like that. My live ain't that, because my life ain't that. Like, I don't make music by just like sitting here and just like doing nothing but making beats all day, 30 beats a day. That's not how I judge my shit. I judge my shit by like the feeling I'm getting. If I come to the studio and I feel like shit, or like an argument set me off, or like I ate something gross or whatever it is, and I'm sitting here trying to make beats, they gonna come out like ass. If my friend comes by and has me cracking up laughing, and I smoke a bunch of weed and I go on live and y'all say some funny shit or blah blah blah, I get back to my computer and I got a different way about me because it's funny, it's light. That's what the cave is. That's like why I have my show. My show is about like, oh, you can make a song in 10 minutes and that shit can be fire and you can have fun doing it. I don't have to be so, and you could throw that song in the fucking garbage and who cares? Like, songs aren't precious. Every time people play basketball at their court near their crib, or they go play like flag football, they don't write down their stats for life. You know what I mean? And say like, oh man, like I got my RBIs though this summer, where it's like, nah, you went and played sports for a half hour with your friends and you came back and now the fucking game's over and none of those stats matter. You don't got to film it for your reel. Like, you see what I'm saying? Songs are just fun. That's why I started a show where it's like, no, these beats might suck. These raps even might suck. Zach Fox is awful at rapping. Like, we might just make a trash song and throw it out, but like, even that process, I feel like is more useful for kids than a deconstructed where they can see what hi-hat I use. Like, get your vibe right. Get yourself as a person fun to be around. Like, make the place that you work, even if it's a shitty little room like my room is, like, make it somewhere people want to go because they know it's always going to be like chill and fun and there's no expectations. Like, that's how I'm trying to set up my brand, which is not, hey, fucking bust downs. You see, like, it's also not like, oh, I make beats and all I do is make beats. It's somewhere different than that. And I love that people don't mind my way of doing things because I'm definitely like not usual. I think it's much more. I think it's much more. I think it's much more normal to be one of them like real quiet, real good, the Gucci bust down producer. I'm just not. I don't fit in either one. When I'm around those dudes, I enjoy their company and they're funny to me. But like, my friends would roast my ass. For real. And I somehow got 600 of y'all in here fucking with me. That's crazy. It's crazy to me. If it stopped right here, and this is the most people that ever came in my live, like, I'm proud of that. I had 20 people in my shit a year ago. I would be like, think about how embarrassing that is. I'll be in here talking just as much as I'm talking right now with the 20 people who don't care, who want to hear like my Hoodrich Pablo Juan instrumentals. I'm just happy that anybody like takes anything from this shit. Because my friends and I talk like this all the time. Like, you can ask anybody, like, if you want to see who my real friends are, they all run the dots page, the don't overthink shit Instagram. Those are all my friends. My friend Dom, my friend Eris, my friend Dylan, my friend Alex, my manager Mike, and my best friend whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Mike. All those people run the don't overthink shit Instagram. They're really my best friends. Like, those are the people who shit on me the most, who help me the most, who do everything that I don't do. And like, if any of them caught me trying to flex or caught me not speaking my mind, and the same thing caught me just lying and just trying to be a different person to get more rap songs, like, my friends would not have it. They'd be shitting on me. Like, they would hack my shit and ruin my page before anybody else would. Trust me. Y'all tell me though, am I supposed to just come on here and like review beats or like show y'all 808s? Like, we could do that too. You want me to come in and just start beef and start talking shit about people in the music industry? We could do that. I feel like this is the best use of my time though. Like, helping kids out who don't get it, and or roasting my haters. That's the best use of my time. I already got pulled over today. I worked out and I sent some files. So I feel like it's already 11 a.m. I'm doing a good job. I had some time to come on live and talk shit. He said, show me how to roll a blunt. I remember being 17 and like looking up how to roll a blunt. It was always so confusing. Like, you really just gotta learn it in person. I remember like seeing like, oh, now fold this like under this. Like, then I would always be trying to do it and I would just be ripping shit. Name a rapper you don't like. I can't lie, I don't fuck with Lil Pump that much. I can't lie. I talked to him once or twice and he was just such an asshole. It is what it is. He said Cardi or Uzi. I can't pick. This is the real hard one. Someone said Thug, Future, Cardi, Uzi. You gotta kill one. I don't even want to say who mine is. All right, I killed Cardi, but it's just because, like, I've cried to lyrics by the other three people. Cardi shit only makes me turn up. It only makes me go one way, really. Like, it doesn't. I never listen to his shit, and I'm sitting there like, damn, like, my life right now, you know, like, oh damn, like, my last relationship. Like, I know y'all gonna be on me, but you gotta pick one. Who are you gonna pick? If you pick Thug or Uzi or Future, you're fucking a dumbass. So. My biggest fear? I don't know. I gotta think about it. Future? That's fucked. Wait, hold on. Do you recommend creating your own beat sites or just growing natural relationships? I would say the latter. I would say try to grow your shit. As internet shit. But since since I've gotten older, I left rap shit. I came back to rap shit. And when I came back, fuck with me if I don't fuck with you. Like, I want it to be music's the most important thing. But if an artist is going to fuck with you or not, and they sees a million young ass little kids can go get your beats right now, or you just someone who's hungry and talented and reaching out, that's going to go much farther. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the shit, beat sites look like you're whoring your shit out. Frankly, that's how I feel about it. I hold y'all in a higher regard. Ooh. What area do you want to improve in? I want to get even better with my engineering. I want to get even better with my mixing. I want to learn how to like actually put a decent master on a song without just dropping a chain on there that I know works and editing it. I want to start from scratch and know like, okay, I need my EQ, then I need my compressor, then I need my multiband, then I need my fucking left side or whatever the fuck it is, or mid side EQ, then I need my fucking limiter, then I need this. Like, I want to know how to master for real. I want to know how to mix for real. Like I said, I mixed a lot of my shit last year, but it's not where I want it to be. I want my shit to sound like Black Panther. Like, I want my shit to sound like Good Kid, Mad City. I want you to hear my mix in headphones and be like, oh my God, this shit knocks and it's interesting. And what was that? And blah, blah. Like, I want it to be that crazy. Alex teaches me a little at a time. But like, it's hard for him to sit there and explain everything he's doing. You know what I mean? He can only answer the questions I ask. But I want to improve in so much shit. I want to be a better person. I've gotten rid of so much of my temper, but I want to get rid of all of my temper. I want to get rid of all of my fucking doubt. I want to get rid of so much shit. That's my biggest focus, though, is my blind spots. Like, what I'm not good at, what I'm missing. Like, for a lot of people that I know, I feel like the first step is literally just, like, making better music and making more music. Because I remember when I first came back to this shit and started going really, really hard doing Kenny shit, I would finally get an opportunity to play somebody beats, either a producer or a rapper or a label person, and they go, you got something like this? You got something like this? Like, what about something like 100 BPM shit? And I'd be like, oh my God, I have 200 beats and I don't have anything like that? That's a bad feeling. Now, it's hard to stump me. It's hard to say like, oh, I want something really soft and really chill, or I want some real hard shit at this tempo, or I want some California shit, but I want it with these drums. Like, you could really ask me anything now, and I got something similar, but I can make it in 2 seconds. Only reason I can make it in 2 seconds is because there were so many times where I was like, fuck, I'm missing this, or I don't know how to do this, or how the fuck, where do I get these sounds from? Like, I don't even know. I gotta just go Google Reddit like everybody else and try to find these sounds. Like, there's always shit to improve on. As soon as you feel like you're nice, it's a wrap for you. Fire. Slow Tie's album is definitely a learning experience for me. There's a lot of like super grime shit on there that like I have to get accustomed to. Here, Dylan, try this. This is trash. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that with you. That's also not OG. Like, what fucking OG is that? Mustard OG? Like, that shit tastes so weird. This kid just asked me a question. Said, I made the anger management art. No, you fucking didn't. What do you think is better for mixing? FL or Cubase? If I had to pick between those two, I'll probably say Cubase. There's a lot of fucked up shit about FL. You can do it in anything, though. Don't fucking, like, don't think that just because you got a certain program and your favorite person uses a different program, or you see a lot of people using another program, that you can't mix or record or do whatever. Like, people used to tell me you can't record in Ableton. Every article I read whenever I started Googling it and shit, because I didn't want to learn Pro Tools. I didn't want to go have to buy Pro Tools. I didn't want to have to worry about iLocks and shit like that. So I just started doing vocals in Ableton, and it's so hard because it's literally like there's no playlisting. So every time you record a track, if you don't take that and drag it down and save it somewhere, it records right over it, unless you're doing a loop. So it's super hard to record in Ableton, and every single thing you hear from me, the vocals are done in Ableton, or they got touched in Ableton at some point. So yeah, I think you can do it in whatever. I've seen people have better luck with full mixing in Cubase. FL, can't you like not even bounce stems with a master chain in FL or some shit like that? There's a lot of fucked up shit going on. Also, FL had like, there's like a limiter. Whenever you turn everything all the way up in FL, it doesn't just let you distort. It kind of like puts a little ceiling on everything you're doing. I got to look up what that plugin is called. I can't remember. Somebody put it in the comments. It's not slander. I fucking love FL. I'm just saying, people talking about mixing right now. I hear a lot of sloppy mixes come out of FL because people just trust that it's hitting hard. He said, yo, this is the cave, right? Yes, this is the cave. Here's the fucking sign. Here's Dylan. And in my earthquake. New episode of The Cave coming Friday. This Friday. Very special. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm very excited. Can I release the freestyles on the keyboard? First of all, no. Second of all, shut up. How much did it cost you to build that? Build what? You don't want this gross joint?
No, I'll get back to it.
This studio was mostly built when I got it. Like, all the wallpaper was there. The booth was already there. Somebody built a wall and made a booth. The attic was already there. We just did like floors, new lights, TVs, the sign. We just added like a couple grand into it. But my rent here is not that high. And I didn't put money into it till we started filming the show. Like, it had shitty, dirty carpet in here, and some old Staples office chairs, and fucking a glass desk that was probably from like CB2 or some shit. And that's how I made everything. Like, everything you heard last year was made in like this room when it was the grossest. The attic is just like Netflix and beanbags. If you go up there, there's not that much shit up there though. It's not really that exciting. I could take y'all up there, but what 2 albums are you taking to a deserted island? Hell Hath No Fury by Clips and
777. I'm a big fan of Joshua Redman. I'm a big fan of anything Eric Krasno does. I guess that's like fusion or like funk. I listen to a lot of like Lettuce or Soul Live and shit when I'm in that mood. I always play Keith Jarrett videos for rappers like all the time. There's a piano player named Keith Jarrett who's like one of the illest of all times, and he basically doesn't play songs. He doesn't like sit there and play a song or play a song of his and then you see him perform it 20 times. Every concert he does, he just plays whatever the fuck he feels like that day, and that's the concert. So whenever you refer to one of his songs, you have to say like, oh, the Cone Concert Part 2. Like there's no names for the songs. That shit was a big impact on me. Me and Smino were watching that video like a couple weeks ago. I'm still shitty. I'm still not good. I'm still working at it. So, never. I didn't go to that Berkeley. I went to Berkeley School of Music. Marilyn, get the fuck out of my comments. What is the weirdest shit you sample? I sampled a fart, a burp. I sampled... why am I smoking this joint? Ugh. I sampled... So gross. I sampled a walrus one time on an EDM song. That shit came out hard as fuck. If you just look up like weird animal noises, you always find some fire. All you need is 808. I work with people who aren't famous all the fucking time. I work with people with no followers. Who is Thuk? Everyone's talking about Thuk. You must be tight. Shout out Thuk, whoever the fuck you are. I probably shouldn't say that. You might be a bad guy. The kid said I sampled hentai. Branches, shut the fuck up. They're just on my desk, bro. And I already worked out today, Branches. Did you work out today, you bitch? Thought so. Dylan, did you work out? Yeah, exactly. Healthy over here. Would you ever work with someone that isn't famous or help someone blow up? Yeah. I'm not gonna say no one's name or pat myself on the back and tell you any stories or any shit like that. But this kid said he just got back from Pilates. Y'all flame him in the comments. Flame Branches in the comments right now. You see that? Wow. Just got back from Pilates. You thought you sounded tough right there. You thought you said something, huh, Branches? I'm only interested if people have good music. That's all I fucking care about. There's kids I'm working with right now who got no followers, who rap better than the biggest artist I'm working with. Point blank. Kids from the middle of fucking nowhere who are super fucking hungry, who don't have shit going on. Like, those are the kids who are going to do 16-hour sessions and not brag about it. Those are the kids who are going to fucking take any beat you give them, any fucking opportunity they get, and make it work. I love working with kids who don't have shit going on yet. You know what I mean? Those are some of my best, most interesting sessions. There's a lot of people that like my friends put me onto that they, you know what I mean? And it doesn't make me write it off because it's accessible. I think that's the best advice for young producers is like everybody, I think you're in the streets, who's Thuk? Fucking, I have people all the time who like asking me how do they get their beats to big rappers? How do they get people who are really popping to fuck with their music? How do they get in the room with people who already have a lot of shit going on? I think it's one way to look at it, but it might not be the best way of getting started. I think the best way of getting started is to meet people who are either around from where you're from or close to your same level, like just starting out or just figuring shit out, blah, 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 and get with people who are accessible to you, who you have a opportunity to be around, and learn with those people. Learn at the studio in your fucking city how to fuck up and how to record and what to do when something goes wrong, or learn all that shit when you're with your friends and you're with people that it's not going to make you lose your shit because you embarrassed yourself in front of this big rapper. It's fire to like have a little incubator to teach yourself all the shit you need to learn, so when you get around the big leagues and the big dogs, like, you know what you're fucking doing. If you started making beats in your room and you got really fire at beats, and then all of a sudden you get in the room with all these big rappers, trust me, you're not going to know how to act. You're a kid from the fucking Midwest and you come out here and you start working with a bunch of rappers from Compton, or say you're a kid from New York and you end up working with a bunch of kids from Florida, or a bunch of kids from Detroit, or a bunch of kids from Texas. You got to learn about how to get along on top of how to do all the jobs in the studio, how to engineer, how to fucking produce, how to deal with people having temper tantrums, and what to do whenever like the conversation in the studio keeps leading away from everything but music and you've been there for 3 hours and you haven't got anything done yet. Those are all things that are really easy to learn just being in studios, not necessarily being around the biggest, most poppin' people. You got to just start doing this shit on some level. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell yourself, like, unless I'm working with the people who popping on the internet, my shit's not popping. No. Like, if everybody in your city knows you're the fire kid in that city, and then whatever rapper comes there, is recording there, and has a show there or whatever, trust me, the internet's going to do the work for you. Just like right now, like y'all just saw it in the comments. I answered a question from some kid, and everybody started saying his name because y'all fuck with him, or he got some followers, or he a dope producer, or whatever it is. Like, the internet's going to do the work for you. I'm telling you. Shout out to the kids who come in here and just say, I'm the GOAT about themselves. That's so tight. New cave video on Friday. Who's even in here right now? I haven't even been looking. Oh, damn, I got some homies in here. Mitchell, what's poppin'? Mitchell, what's the word, dog? How's Colorado treating you, Mitch? No. Did fucking Rap City the Basement freestyles come out on Spotify? Like, does Tim Westwood, Tierra Whack freestyle come out on Apple Music this week? No, it's a freestyle show. Also, all the beats I've made on the cave are pretty trash, except for the one with Monty. So I'm not trying to release these beats. I make these beats while I'm having fun in the room with my friends, and then they make a fun song. The point is not to drop these songs and make money on these songs. The point is the show. You feel me? No, I'm not dropping any of the freestyles ever. If I drop Zach's, then I got to drop everybody else's. Yes, he's a chill guy. That's my fucking boy. What are you talking about? Oh, damn. You're in physics right now? I bet that shit is super boring. I would love to just help Peggy with his shit. He's got an album coming out. He's got his own shit going on. I just want to fucking hear it. He's so secretive about it. But that man was making some of his best songs he's ever made by himself way before he ever met me. So I don't think he's the type of artist where I need to touch everything and I need to fucking produce on everything. I just like being a part of the conversation with Peggy. You know what I mean? I just like whenever he comes here and plays me shit and asks me, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Or just tells me, yo, this is what I'm trying to do here. This is what I'm trying to do here. Do you think it's working? Whatever the fuck. That's more our relationship, really, than it's like, oh, let me make a beat for you. He's a great producer. Like, respect the boundaries. Whenever you start to work with someone and they're already really good at what they do, maybe you can help them be even better at what they do. It's not always about, like, let me jump in here and start fucking teaching y'all how to really make beats because you're a rapper. Like, I don't treat it like that at all. Anytime I get around Peggy, I just ask him if there's anything he needs help on or anything he wants to work on or blah, blah. And once in a while, he's just in a mood of like, yeah, fuck it. Like, you got any beats? You know what I mean? But, nah. I'm no plans, no project. I want to hear what he's working on. He's got some crazy, crazy secret shit going on. I know that. And every couple months, someone's always like, oh, yeah, you heard Peggy
Peggy's in the studio with blah, 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 and it's always somebody crazy. It's like, oh, you heard Peggy and Celine Dion was kicking it? I'm like, what the fuck? How does he even get in these rooms? I just hit him. I just hit him a couple days ago. I'm trying to make that play happen very, very soon. Yes, I would, and I will, and I'm going to. Yes, the majority of shit that came out in the last year you heard was mixed by me. Everything right now is getting mixed by Alex. Alex Toomey is mixing everything. All my shit. Ever since he did Ski Mask and A Boogie like back to back. I had 2 on Ski Mask, I had 2 on A Boogie. He did both of those like immediately. And now he's working on the Key shit of mine. He's working on Splurge shit of mine. He's working on a ton of things. I'm leaking info right now. He obviously did anger management the whole way through. So yeah, it used to be me by myself. This year, my focus is have my music sound perfect. Doesn't mean like the best song. Doesn't mean the beat is exact or like whatever. It's not about any specific meter. It's just I want to make sure that when someone hears a 21 Savage song, or they hear a Travis song, or they hear a Post Malone song, I can have some shit come on right after it and have it sound just as good, just as loud, just as clean, just as sharp, even if it's a kid who has no money, even if it's an artist with no budget, or it's the richest, most poppin' rapper. I just want to make sure my sound quality is high. Last year, I was so worried about songs. Like, all I cared about was like getting a really good song. Now, you already got to have a good song. You already got to have fire beats. You already got to make sure the music is there. The mix and the master is what you do when you're really, really confident in the songs. I feel like some people use a mix and master to make them like the song more. That's not my vibe. Like, if I don't love it when it's fucked up in a demo, I'm not going to love it when it's mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I play on live, or every snippet y'all have ever heard from me is like the bounce from the computer in here. So that means I recorded everybody right to Ableton, right in here with a preamp, an interface, and a mic. And then it's just my 2-track or my beat, my fucking MP3 session with the vocals. If you bounce that out and that shit's hitting and that shit already sounds good, feels good, you love the song, then it's time to talk about the mix and the master. Last year, I was so proud of the music I was making, and I was making so much music. I was making hundreds of songs a month. I was like, okay, I need to make sure this shit comes out. I can't be another one of these people who has all this shit on their laptop and then you never hear anything. You never see all this work. I wanted my shit to come out, so I was like, fuck it. I'm going to mix it myself. I'm master myself. And every time a label would hit me and be like, all right, this is the final one. This is mixed and mastered. I'd be like, yep. But in my heart, I'm like, fuck. Like, imagine if Alex did it. Imagine if Ali did it. Imagine if Jason Joshua did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can always get better, but I was just at a point where I wanted my shit to come out. So No. Just record me right now, if forever, because I'm so sick of having to talk about this. No. Don't ever fucking do this, bruh. Don't sidechain your shit unless you want to make house music or you want to make some shit where everything feels like it's swelling. Like, if you sidechain your 808 to your kick, your shit is not gonna hit. No. Fuck no. Don't do it. It does not sound tight. It does not clean your shit up. It doesn't make your kick sound better. It don't make your bass sound better. It makes everything sound like shit. Let them rock. Just fuck with the EQ. Cut some lows out of some shit. Fuck with your levels. Stop. Don't fucking do this. Don't do it. Y'all have to stop, bro. So I get this question like 5 times a day. I can't tell you, but it's Friday. This Friday. I was supposed to meet Madlib one time at Freddie Gibbs' house, and I waited for like 4 hours. He never showed up because he was like drinking wine or some shit. And then on my way out, I was getting in my car, started driving away, and then he pulled up to the house. But I had to leave. Fucked up. That man is a legend, though. Crash Talk, I love. I got to hear Crash Talk a little early. Q played it for me because they had a problem with a sample, and they were trying to see if I could fix the sample, but then the sample got cleared. But yeah, I'm such a big fan of Schoolboy Q. Honestly, there's not too much shit that he does that I don't like. I'm working on it. Just saying, I'm working on it. From the internet. I hit her up a million times. And then my mutual friend was with her. Any tips on staying motivated? You could be broke. You could have some health shit going on. You could have some family shit going on. You could live in the middle of fucking nowhere where nobody does this shit and nobody does music and it feels like you got no resources. There's a lot of things, depression, anger, there's a lot of shit that could deter you or that make it hard to fucking feel creative. But for me, like the one motivating factor is that I'm still in my fucking 20s. I have friends, I have family, my rent is paid right now off music. This is all I want to do. I don't want to do shit else. I don't want to work a normal job. I don't want to fucking run a business per se. I don't want to fucking crunch numbers. I don't want to spend my time doing anything but music. So all I'm going to do is work harder at music than anybody else I know works at anything else. Think of it that way. What are you spending your time on? Say you have a normal job to pay rent or to pay your bills and you want to do music on the side and you're trying to figure out how to make it so you can make all your money doing music. Let's just say that's your case. Or let's say you're fortunate enough to where you can make music for a living, but you can't stay motivated. For either person, think of it this way. What do you have to do besides your normal job? Eat, maybe get exercise. Like, you don't need to go out and party. You don't need to fucking worry about chasing down people to fuck. You don't need to spend your time watching Netflix and spend your time like even doing anything but your passion. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in school, yeah, sorry. But when you get out of school, if you're fortunate enough to not have to work a job and go to school, all you should be doing is music all the time. Like if you spend your teens, if you're lucky enough to be in your teens or your early 20s or your late 20s or whatever, working 6, 7, 8, 10 hours a day on music, you're gonna get better every day, every single day. If you spend time on fucking YouTube looking shit up, if you spend time researching your favorite music and how it gets made and blah blah blah, you're gonna learn so fucking much every single day you spend doing it. Every day you sit there pissed off because you're not going anywhere or trying to figure out where the creative spark is or trying to fucking like wait for the perfect moment to make music or to blow up or to fucking quit your job. It's not gonna come. There's no perfect moment, bro. It's like you gotta just fucking do this shit every single day and the results are what keep you motivated. Seeing yourself get a little better, seeing your friends fuck with your music more, opportunities start to pop up. You get to start to make music you're more proud of. You know what I mean? Like that's the motivating factor is you want to do this shit as your job instead of some boring shit. You don't want to run your family fucking business. You don't want to work at a fucking normal ass office. If you don't want to do that and this is what you want to do, put the time in, because there's not a fucking checklist with this shit the way there is with any other normal job that you get out of college or you get out of high school or whatever. Like, there's no amount of hours you're supposed to work. No one's going to tell you when to send your beats or when to fucking show up on people or when to take meetings or when to fucking spend 5 extra hours in the studio that night. No one's going to tell you to do that shit. No one's ever going to give you a regimented amount of hours that you can put in till you start getting placements or you start getting money or you start, you know what I mean? It's not like that. You got to just go crazy. I can't work a normal job, bro. I'm not going to go do some shit in the office all day and pretend I fuck with the people there and then at nighttime work on me. I'm only going to do this. So if I'm only going to do this, best believe I don't have time to spend all day on live. Best believe I don't have time to go to dinner every time my friends go out or go to fucking every single club that my homies go to. I don't have the time. If all you need is some speakers in your room, if you can't get $100 together for some speakers, you need a new game plan at work. You need a new game plan at school. You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that all that shit is way easier than having to pretend I fuck with my commute in my office job and all that shit every day. That shit kills me. The idea of having to figure shit out, having to come up, you know what I mean? Barely make rent, barely make this shit every month, but I'm doing music. Like, that worked for me. I had friends of mine put $5,000 in my face because I wasn't making, I didn't have enough money to pay my bills and help my family and do all my shit. And I came up short a couple times when I started doing Kenny shit again because of just life shit. And I had friends put money right in my face and be like, hey, bro, take this, da, da, da. And I never took it. You feel me? I never took any help because I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to go harder with this music shit. I'm going to just work an extra couple fucking hours. I'm going to hit up 10 more people tomorrow than I hit up the day before that. That's all you got to do. Staying motivated is not hard. It's working a normal ass 9 to 5 every single fucking day is way harder to me. I don't know. I'd rather work crazy hours doing this shit.